ותתרפא והייתה לה שמחת עולם. יללי רי 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 יללי רי 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 יללי רי 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 יללי רי 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 יללי רי 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 יללי רי 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 רי. We continue on page 138 with Lecha Dodi. And I know Paige has a little iyun for us, so I'll read what she wrote. But first, let me find page 138. Here we are. So as we sing Lecha Dodi, we welcome Shabbat not only as a day of rest, but as a transformative presence in our lives. With our extra soul, our neshama yetera, tonight we are allowing ourselves to experience the world with greater depth and awareness. As we recite these words, let's ask ourselves how can we embrace this opportunity for renewal? What do we need to leave behind from the week, and how can we step fully into the holiness of this moment? We'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On the 9th verse, we rise, we face the entrance to the sanctuary and welcome in the Shabbat bride. Page 138. Dodi li kakala bene Shabbat mekabela lecha dodi li kakala bene Shabbat mekabela shamor vezachor bedibur echad hishmianu אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נשוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בא אורך קומי אורי 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 שידברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצוהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לי קהלה בני שבת נקבלה, לכדודי להתרקלה, ונשבת נקבלה. You may be seated. We continue on page 142 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'd like to invite the Vidals to come up and light candles. La 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya let's get that other candle lit. Scoop up some holiness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Thank you, Mark and Susan. We continue with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 146. Please rise if you are able. Lai, 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 lai. ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד המבורך לעולם ועד. You may be seated. Again, these are words from Paige Beam, our rabbinic student intern who is going to be here tonight and unfortunately is not feeling okay, so I'm just reading her remarks. So the Shema is an invitation not just to listen, but to truly hear. The word Shema implies a deep, embodied understanding, a listening that leads to action. Take a moment to reflect. What is something you've been hearing but not fully listening to? As we proclaim Shema Yisrael, let us open ourselves to a deeper awareness, to hear not just with our ears, but with our hearts. The Shema can be found on page 152. Please rise if you are able. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. The Ve'ahavta can be found on page 154. Please join me in reciting it. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We continue with the Micha Mocha, which can be found on page 158. This is the song that Miriam and the Israelite women sang upon crossing the Sea of Reeds after our liberation from slavery in Egypt. Please join me. Ya lay la lay lay, ya la lay la lay, ya lay la lay lay, ya la lay la lay, ya la lay lay, ya la lay la lay, lay la lay lay, ya la lay la lay. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלי, ילאי, ללאי, לי, ילאי, ללאי, לי, ללאי, לי, ילאי, ללאי, לי, ללאי, לי, ילאי, ללאי, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים, לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. לילה 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 לילה, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלי, ילאי ללאי ללאי, ילאי ללאי, לילה לילה ילאי ללאי, לילה לילה יאי ראי 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 ראי. The Shamru can be found on page 162. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. The Mishaberach prayer can be found on page 371. This is our prayer for healing. It's for anyone who needs healing, who you think needs healing, and also for those taking care of people who need healing. On our Mishaberach list tonight, Amy Coiteau, Bruce Newman, Denise Fontaine, Erwin Ames, Lisa Sage, Louis Pelayo, Lynn Newman, Mark Jeff, Micah Engber, Caleb Meshnick, Lee Stern, Edith Bloom, Milo Mandel, Neil Mitchell, Steve Lincoln, Susan Vidal, Yonia Rusi, Charlotte Cohen, Annette Diamond, Ruth Greenbaum, Hank Laufenberg, Robert Parks, and Marla Wolkowitz. If there is someone you're thinking of who you'd like to send healing vibes to, please say their name as I go around the room. We also think of those in Israel, those affected by acts of terrorism, anti-Semitism, and bigotry, those caught in natural and unnatural disasters, those healing from all too frequent gun violence, those affected by cuts in the USAID budget, and all those caring for the ill. We're on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal those who are ill. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. The singing of Misha Berach, page 371. Sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. As an intro to the Amidah, I'm going to share some words that Paige prepared. The Amidah is our moment of direct encounter with the divine. I apologize for the microphone popping all the time. I don't know what's going on. The Amidah is a quiet space where we bring our gratitude, hopes, and our struggles. The Hebrew word for prayer, tefillah, comes from the root palel, meaning to judge or examine oneself. Tonight, as we rise in prayer, let's ask, what do I need to bring forward in honesty? How can I use this moment to realign with my truest self? The Amidah begins on page 164. Please rise if you are able. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue silently through page 180. When you're done with your silent prayer, you may be seated. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשת צר מאוד, והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. The words to this song mean the whole world is a narrow bridge. The most important thing is to not be afraid. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. Almost got that high note there. So once again, I did not prepare a drash for tonight because I didn't think I'd be speaking tonight. But I have Paige's words here, so I'm going to share what Paige was going to share with you guys. She begins with Shabbat Shalom. Tonight, we open a new book of the Torah, Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. It begins with a seemingly small, almost imperceptible detail, but one that carries profound meaning. The very first word of this book, Vayikra, and God called, is written in the Torah with a very small aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The aleph in the word is very small, tiny. Now, in Hebrew, every letter matters. Every stroke and every space has meaning, so when something is written in a way that is different from the norm, the rabbis pause and ask, why? One of the most well-known interpretations comes from the humility of Moses. According to the Midrash, Moses originally wanted to write Vayikar without the aleph. This would have changed the meaning of the word to, and he happened upon, making it sound accidental, similar to the way God appears to the non-Israelite prophet Balaam. Moses, in his deep humility, didn't want to make it seem like God was calling out to him in a unique or exalted way. But God insisted that Moses write Vayikra, and God called with an aleph, affirming the sacred nature of this encounter. As a compromise, Moses wrote the aleph smaller than usual. At first glance, this might seem like a minor scribal detail, but I want to suggest that this small aleph holds a powerful lesson, one that speaks to us today in this moment, And I think Paige meant to write 3 lessons, actually, because she goes on to list 3 lessons here that this small aleph teaches us. So I'll start with lesson 1, the holiness of smallness. We live in a world that celebrates big things, big personalities, big achievements, big moments. But Vayikra reminds us that holiness is often found in the small and quiet. Think about the moments that have truly shaped your life. Was it a grand, earth-shattering event? Or was it a quiet word of encouragement, a simple act of kindness, a small decision that set you on a new path? The small aleph in Vayikra reminds us that what seems small can be sacred. A gentle word, a thoughtful gesture, a deep breath before reacting. These tiny moments are where the divine often speaks to us. Lesson number 2, learning to listen. The word Vayikra means, and God called. But how do we hear that call? If we expect it to come as a loud, booming voice from the heavens, we might be waiting a long time. More often, God's call comes in whispers. It comes in the quiet spaces, in the moments of reflection, in the gut feeling that tells us to reach out to someone, to make a change, to step into something bigger than ourselves. Moses' humility allowed him to hear that call. He didn't assume he was worthy. He simply listened. And in that listening, he became the leader that the people needed. How often do we slow down enough to hear the quiet invitations in our own lives? And the third lesson, the sacred in the unfinished. There's another perspective on this small aleph. Some commentators suggest that it symbolizes something incomplete, something still unfolding. Think about your own journey. So often we feel like we have to be finished before we step forward, fully prepared, fully wise, fully worthy. But Vayikra tells us otherwise. The call comes not when we feel ready, but when we are needed. It comes when there is work to be done, and we are being invited to do it. So maybe the small aleph is a reminder that we are always in process, always becoming. And that's okay. Holiness isn't about being perfect, it's about being open. Open to growth, open to learning, open to the small ways we can bring light into the world. So as we welcome Shabbat tonight, let's hold on to the lesson of the small aleph. Let's remember that the quiet moments matter. That humility isn't about thinking less of ourselves, but about making space to listen. That we don't have to be perfect to be called to something meaningful. And that sometimes the biggest transformations begin with something small. Shabbat Shalom. It is time for announcements. Doing the honors this evening, our very own Mark Vidal.
Is this on? It is on.
Working better than mine.
I'll trade you. Thank you, Joel. And thank you for a very meaningful service tonight. Even though it's just a few of us, I'm glad we're all here. I'm certainly glad we're here. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you, Ryan, in the back. Appreciate it. Everybody can hear good, hear well. A few quick announcements and we'll be on our way. This coming Monday, we have an adult education class, What Matters, Caring Conversations About End of Life. Join Stephanie Elkins, our senior outreach advocate, and Andy Schauer, a state attorney and also a Kol Tikva congregant, as they guide you through the practical and profound aspects of advanced care planning, both the conversation and the legal directives. Stephanie is here tonight, so go see her if you have any questions. Stephanie, raise your hand. Where are you? I think you all know Stephanie. You can also sign up on our website if you're interested. Don't forget, Saturday, April 26th, we'll be honoring Dan Roman and Joe and Ira Konofsky for their dedication to Kol Tikva. Get your tickets online for our gala. There's also a QR code in the back of the Shalom sheet. Also, if you play golf, even if you don't, save the date for the Kol Tikva Golf Tournament. It's taking place Monday, June 9th at the beautiful Spanish Hills Golf Course. Details coming soon. Tonight's tzedakah. We'll go to the West Hills Food Pantry. I made my contribution on the way in. And if you're new to Kol Tikva, welcome. I think we have one guest, Jennifer. Welcome. Please, if you have any questions about the temple, please feel free to see me. We're going to be launching a Refer a Friend, Join the Family campaign very shortly. And there's some great literature out. I'm actually going to give some to a friend tomorrow. If you haven't seen these before, there's some beautiful brochures. I picked up one or two just to pass around. So please have a safe evening. Be vigilant out there. Remember to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Mark. This point in the service, we turn to those who are no longer with us, and we remember those who are departed. On our yard site list, Mary Barov, Matthew Kalin, Doris Chermak, Lissalette Fisher, Odette Terrell Levy Flesh, Linda Sue Glucroft, Lloyd Greenwald, Evelyn Hato, Jackie Kahan, Elvira Corpeel, Ronald Tyson Lee, Doris Lees, Rose Leitner, Lillian Marcus, Esther Miller, Muriel Newman, Nikki Pasternak, Joseph Sherb, Christopher Larry Schei, Ralph Steinhauser, and Louis Weissman. On our recently departed list, within our community, Ralph Stein, remembered by the Stein, Suvorov, and Titus families, and Naomi Pekovsky, remembered by the Kotovsky family. If there is a name of someone you're thinking of who is no longer with us, and you want to share their name out loud, put my hand around the room. Free to share their name. Great. Thank you. We also hold in our prayers the hostages and soldiers we have lost in the current Mideast conflict, those taken by gun violence, those that have passed due to floods, fires, and other natural and unnatural disasters, those who died due to lack of vaccination, and those that have no one but us to say Kaddish for them. If you are in your first 7 days of mourning, I invite you to rise if you are able. If you are in your first 30 days of mourning, I ask you to rise if you are able. If you are in your first year of mourning, I ask you to please rise if you are able. I invite the rest of us to also rise so we may comfort the mourners and support them. We are on page 598. We recite the Kaddish together. Yikadal v'yikadash shmei Rabba, ve'alma divrach yiruteh ve'amlich malchuteh, v'chai echon v'yom echon, v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kariv ve'imru Amen. יהי שמך הבא מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen. You may put your books down. Put your arms around one another. If you don't know the person next to you, introduce yourself first before you put your arm around them. Let's see, which Oseh Shalom shall we do tonight? Let's do this one. Oseh Shalom b'romah, hu yaseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'romah, hu yaseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'romah, hu yaseh Shalom aleinu. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. I invite you all to come up towards the bima for Kiddush and Hamotzi. My headset microphone died just now, so I'm going to use this one. I think that's why it was popping the whole time, because the battery was about to go. All right. Susan told me she wants to sing the rest of the service.
Oh, no.
So,
Oh, no. No, we're not doing that, Joe.
all right, here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri agafen l'chaim. Bottoms up. Let's bring the challah up here. Watch your step. Bring it out here. Yeah, you're gonna stay up here. Okay. All right. Touch someone who's touching the challah. Or touch someone who's touching someone who's touching someone who's touching the challah. We have to point to the challah and say yum yum yum. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom. Have some challah and meet out in the social hall for an oneg.